Today we're going to be looking at a story that involves an infamous killer couple from Australia and how their final victim managed to escape from them. Of course, this story is going to include some graphic details some people may find disturbing, so discretion is advised. And before we start, if you're interested in stories from the dark side of life, then please remember to like and subscribe to this channel so you can be the first to be informed of all our future videos. Okay, let's go. It's November the 9th, 1986 in Perth, Australia. 17-year-old Kate Moyer has spent a night out with friends and decides that she's going to take a walk home that evening. At some point during her journey, a car pulls up alongside her and the driver offers her a lift home. Kate takes a look inside the car and she sees there are actually two people inside. Of course, there's the driver who she's speaking to, but sat beside him in the passenger seat is a female, and Kate assumes that this must be the partner of the driver. And in this case, she's right. Seeing the woman in the car, Kate feels a sense of reassurance. Surely everything will be okay. A woman will make sure that she gets home safely. This proved to be a critical error of judgment. The couple actually do drive Kate to her home, and at first it looks like everything is fine. Until Kate tries to get out. She realises there's no handle on the inside of the car. And it's at this point that the couple pounce upon Kate and forcefully tie her up in the back seat of the vehicle. All three of them leave Kate's home address, and the next destination is a mystery to the terrified Kate. The car eventually pulls up outside her captor's house, and the couple take Kate inside. Being held hostage in the house, Kate is subjected to repeated physical, sexual, and psychological torture. And with the woman holding a knife to Kate's throat, she is forced to ring her mother to lie about her whereabouts in order to ease any suspicions for her failing to return home. Her mum answers the phone, and Kate tells her she is drunk and that she will be staying at a friend's house that evening. Kate is praying that she won't be believed and that her mum will raise the alarm. Her mum goes back to sleep. She's bought Kate's story. With nobody realising she needs help, Kate needs to quickly come up with a backup plan. She believes that if she complies with the demands of the couple, they'll eventually set her free. However, this hope will not last long. That evening, the three of them are watching a news report on the TV, and it describes how several girls have gone missing in the local area. And it's the reaction to this news that makes Kate realise that she's in grave danger. The couple laugh and joke about the missing girls, and this makes Kate realise that the girls are no longer alive. And Kate knows that if she doesn't do something to escape, the same fate awaits her. The evening passes, during which time the three of them watch the movie Rocky. Now, this seemingly insignificant detail is actually very important later on in the story, but we'll come to that later. But for now, the evening ends with Kate sharing a bed with the man, and their ankles are handcuffed together in order to prevent her escape. It's now the following morning and the man needs to leave for work. Before doing so, he delivers a chilling promise to Kate. He tells her, "I'm going to kill you when I return home tonight." Left alone with the female, Kate knows time is running out and she needs to escape before sunset. I've no idea how she manages to keep so level-headed, But she does, and Kate manages to devise a plan. She's going to try and earn the trust of the woman, wait for her guard to drop, and then break free. And Kate puts this plan into action. She speaks to the woman like she's an old friend. They talk about movies and music, and her captor even plays Kate some of her favourite songs, including tracks by Dire Straits. Again, like the watching of the Rocky movie the previous evening, this seemingly insignificant detail is vitally important and comes into play later in the story. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. The woman tells Kate to go to the bedroom and wait there until the visitor has left. And this is where Kate's captor has made her own mistake. She's left Kate unchained, so she's not restricted within the room. Alone in the room, Kate springs into action and makes for the window and tries to open it, but it's locked. Despite this setback, Kate knows that she must get out of there now. Time is running out. She breaks the lock and jumps out of the window. She's finally escaped from the house, but she's not completely safe yet. Hitting her head on the concrete below the window, a dazed Kate is finally outside the confines of her abductor's home. Kate runs to the nearest house she can see and knocks on their door. But there's no answer. She then runs to another house on the street, knocks on their door. And there's still no answer. Now this bad luck continues for a third time when she visits another house, and nobody answers there either. And at some point during these desperate attempts to find help, Kate scales a wall and is attacked by a dog that is owned by her captors. She manages to break free from the dog, scales another wall, and eventually escapes it. Kate eventually reaches safety when she runs to a nearby shop. She tells the shop owner, "Help, please take me inside and call the police. If a woman comes here and says I've had a fight with her and that I'm her daughter, don't believe her." Kate has finally managed to escape the killer couple within 24 hours of her capture. However, this isn't the end of the story. Now she's at safety, Kate contacts the police, and their response is shocking. Senior officers don't believe her, and instead they think that she's just some unhinged teenager who is creating an elaborate story in order to get attention. Dismissing the seriousness of what's happened to Kate, rookie officer Laura Hancock is assigned to the case, and she's told to speak with Kate and given one instruction: write Kate up for a false report so that she herself may be punished. As a testimony to how professional this new officer is, Laura ignores the instructions she's been given from her superiors and instead chooses to listen to Kate's story. Kate tells her everything about what she's been put through, including how she had watched Rocky and listened to Dire Straits during her time in the house. And with the details Kate is providing Laura believes her account, and officers are sent to the house where Kate was held captive. Visiting officers arrest the couple, and an inspection reveals the Rocky movie and the Dire Straits album are still in their players, collaborating with Kate's story. With the couple now in custody, they can now be investigated. And this investigation is going to uncover a string of disturbing murders. So who were the sick couple that abducted and tortured Kate? Well, they were David and Catherine Burney, and they're now regarded as one of the most infamous killer couples in Australian history. David had a long criminal history, dating back to when he was a teenager, and like many serial killers, his crimes started small before he spiralled and started committing more serious felonies. And despite sharing the same surname, David and Catherine were not married. Instead, she legally changed her surname to match his. When first questioned by police, Catherine completely denied having ever met Kate. However, David's story conflicted with this account. Instead, he acknowledged having met Kate at the house, but insisted that she had come over consensually. Eventually, under continued police questioning, he breaks and he admits to having abducted Kate. He also confesses that he and Catherine were responsible for a string of murders, and he tells police where the bodies are located. In a period of only 5 weeks, the Birnies abducted and killed 4 women, and Kate was likely to be their 5th victim had she not managed to escape their clutches. There's speculation that the Birnies may actually have been responsible for the deaths of 2 more victims, but as of now, there has not been enough evidence to categorically link them to these disappearances. If you know anything more about these 2 cases, then please do let us know in the comments below. David and Catherine were eventually sentenced to 4 life terms, and David died in prison in 2005 after committing suicide. He spent his final days alone in solitary confinement in order to protect him from the wrath of other prisoners. Catherine is still alive, and she is still incarcerated, as all of her applications for parole have been rejected. She's now 70 years old and spends her days working as a prison librarian. Do you think she should ever be released? Well, her son doesn't. In fact, he's gone as far as to say that she should be executed. So that's what happened to Kate's abductors. But what became of Kate herself? In 2017, Kate was interviewed for a TV show, Murder Undercover, and she revealed that she has gone on to advocate for championing the rights for victims of violent crimes, and she has led reforms in the Australian parole system. It seems that despite suffering such a horrendous ordeal, Kate is making a positive difference to others' lives. And that's the story of how one brave teenager managed to bring an Australian killer couple to justice. Do you have any thoughts about today's video? If so, please share them in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please remember to like and subscribe to this channel so that you can be the first to be informed of any new content we post. Until then.